Hey guys, the Blade Guy 24 here with another knife review. I first like to apologize to you guys. I've had a lot of schoolwork going on, and I said when I made that first video, I said I was going to have another knife review write up, but ended up taking a little bit longer than I had planned. So first of all, I'd like to apologize if you guys have been waiting. But today we're going to do a review on the Benchmade 943 Osborne. Great knife. As you can tell, it's been my EDC for a while now. The pocket clip's a little scratched up. There's some scratching on the side here. But yeah, great knife. You have a clip point blade design made by Osborne. See if I can get that up nice and close. Osborne design. Great knife. It uses the Benchmade axis lock with a it's really cool blue anodized spacer. Just a really nice knife. And as you can see, actually, I called Benchmade about this, and one of my set screws, I was taking the knife apart, just clean it up, lubing it up a little bit because I started getting a little stiff. And I guess I didn't put back one of those screws tight enough. And next time I went to take it out of my pocket, I realized that there's something not quite right there. But yeah, something else that I would figure I'd tell anyone that has an axis lock that it kind of scared me a little bit. But I don't know if you can see right in there how this bar for the axis lock, how it rubs against that back of the knife. Well, I had this knife up for a little bit because I was using my Tenacious for a little bit. And when I took it out, I noticed it'd make this really nasty metal on metal sound, and it was you could just feel the motion that something wasn't right. So that's why I originally took it apart. I usually could have just put some oil in there, but that's all I ended up needing was just a little bit of oil. So if you guys find any axis lock, if you notice that happening, you can usually just get some oil in there and then make sure it goes in behind that piece of metal right there, and then just work it a little bit. That's all I did, just back and forth, open and close, and eventually it worked itself out. But like I said, great knife. I don't know if you guys are into the blade centering, but pretty much perfect. I don't know if you can get much more perfect than that. But I figure some guys like seeing what's in the box, so seeing what the box is like. You open it up, you get this little user care manual. It goes over, what the warranty is, and their LifeSharp program, and all that. So that should be a pretty cool, thing. I've heard some guys have used the LifeSharp. Me, I have a way of sharpening my own knives, so it's not that huge of a deal. But for someone that just doesn't want to deal with the hassle of sharpening their own knives, that might be a good idea. Just pay $5 postage. Then you get this microfiber bag, which is pretty cool. I can't really see myself using it very often for the knife. But, when you have to store it up, actually, when I put this knife up, because I knew I wasn't going to be using it for a while, because I was going to be switching to my Tenacious for my everyday carry just for a little bit to see how it worked. Put it in the bag, and I put it in the box just so it would be safe. And you can see the 943 Osborne black clip point blade. But yeah, one thing that's great about this axis lock, this is actually my first Benchmade knife, and just the speed and the smoothness of just it coming out is just phenomenal, and it's really a great knife and a great feeling. It can actually I always like to see how my knives hold up, and I actually took this to a camp out the other night, and I was cutting up some wood, and it actually held up better than I expected. You can see right near the edge, there's a little bit of marking from the wood. It was some really hard old oak, I think it was, but I even was kind of doing some light prying, and see if I can get this to focus. But the tip's still in great shape. You can see a little bit of wear on the side, but great knife, really sharp. Give you some specs. The blade length is 3.4 inches. The blade's S30V. You see the stamp. You actually may not be able to. It's pretty small. You can see the writing up in the corner. There we go. Oh, focus. That's 30V. Great blade steel. Haven't had to sharpen it much. And it's a clip point blade, which I really like about it. It has this relief cut. So if you had to do any piercing, like if you had to cut up some bottles or had to go into a box to cut it, that would, the relief cut really helps in that respect. And it is hollow ground, by the way. But like I said, solid knife, really solid knife. Not too cheap. I picked this up for about 120, 150. It was a while ago, but now they're. I just checked right before I made this review, and they're up to 170 now. So I got a pretty good deal, I think, when I bought it, because it was a little pricey even back then for me. But I'm so glad I spent the money. You will not be disappointed with these knives. These knives are really great everyday carry. You can see how small it is, just how thin and small. But then you get that great blade length. You get a good handle, and it locks right in there. I don't want to take this off nothing fancy because I know he always goes over the jimping. For me though, it's really not that big of a deal. If I am using it in an emergency situation, I think I'm going to be holding on tight enough to this that I'm not going to have to worry about it just falling out of my hands, or hopefully I can de-escalate the situation before I'd have to use a knife in that kind of way. But yeah, like I said, great knife. But the jimping, it's good enough for me, in all honesty. I don't need anything super. But yep, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave your comments below and let me know what you guys think. If you have any suggestions, like I said, I'm new to this, and any constructive criticism is good. Alright guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.